Hi there everyone, welcome back to another video of LateLate Customs. In today's episode we will be working on this beautiful B16 VTEC right here. This is the car that a few months ago, a little bit more than half a year ago, I fitted the B16 VTEC in this car, and this car has been driving flawlessly and the owner is quite happy, but the car is back at the HQ to get a few finer touches done on the car and a few parts to be replaced, or a few parts needs to be replaced on the car. I'm gonna tackle that as well. If you guys enjoy such content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and drop a like on the video to support the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys remember, there was like a TikTok video I posted of me fitting this engine in alone in this car. I'm not entirely sure if I uploaded it to YouTube, but if I did, I'll list the video in the description down below. Nonetheless, look how beautiful now this engine bay looks. This car was previously a B20 non-VTEC with ITBs, and we converted the car from that to where it is today. It was running on I can't remember the ECU, but it was a quite outdated ECU, and we went from that to running the normal standard ECU in these cars, which is honestly I wouldn't be able to tell you guys the correct ECU number, but just know it's the original B16 VTEC ECU that came out here in South Africa. So you get the facelift and the pre-facelift. This is the facelift right here, but I think we're running a pre-facelift ECU in this car. And there's a lot of backstory on that, but I'm not going to get into that in today's video. We started off the video fitting a banner right there, so if you guys would like to get your hands on a banner, all the information will be in the description down below, and you guys can just hit me up on Instagram if you guys would like to order your banner, or if you guys would like to come to the HU and get it fitted. All the information on the screen and in the description down below. So there's a few stuff I still need to get done on the car, and the first thing I had to do was get the banner fitted. The banner is fitted. The second thing I will be doing is fitting a airbag steering wheel with a clock spring, and the clock spring is very vital because without the clock spring, if the car was an airbag spec is what we call it in South Africa, or like equipped with an airbag on the steering wheel, which is the only place an airbag comes out within the car in an EK. That's if it is equipped with an airbag or came out of the factory with an airbag. The clock spring, it is what sends the signals to the airbag plugged underneath the dash, and is also the signal for the horn. And currently with this car, the horn is running on an additional button, which we're going to convert back to the steering wheel. And currently the car is driving with a non-airbag steering wheel, and we will be converting it to an airbag steering wheel by fitting the clock spring and an airbag steering wheel. I think that was a lot of explaining, but that's the second thing we need to do. The third thing we need to set. We need to set the. I don't know how my Afrikaans is coming through like that, but I'm just gonna speak. We need to set the tappets on the car, and there's a specific clearance we need to have on the feeler gauge to set the tappets. We're gonna do that. Fourth thing is the starter, because he bought a replacement starter by Muhammad, and we will be fitting it in today. First thing is there's an issue with the alternator, and then the sixth thing, I think it's something to do with the car's losing clutch fluid, and I think it has something to do with either the master or the slave cylinder, because all the lines seem fine, but I do see some insulation tape on the reservoir bottle, and I'm just going to obviously first start there before moving on. Let me show you guys quickly what I'm referring to with some insulation tape on the reservoir bottle. So on the E-case, because we have the right hand side right hand side vehicles, the reservoir for the brakes and the clutch is on the driver's side. Overseas, or depending on in which country you are, you get obviously the left hand drive and the right hand drive ones, but this is current situation we are facing right here. I have felt a little bit, just checking my hand is clean. I have felt here a bitchy, and you can feel it's a bit dirty there, but I don't think it is showing any signs of leaking by the slave. Slave is right here. The master is that one right there, but there's usually a case of it leaking on the interior, so I'll just have to check that out. I do think I have a spare one here, if that's the case. And then the alternator for some reason is not charging. I'll pop on that video on the screen of me doing the test. And sending it to the owner. I did not show on the video of the car idling and me disconnecting the battery and the car just died. So that's obviously a sign that your alternator is bad, because the normal voltage with the car running or the engine rotating while it's obviously at idle, the car should or the alternator should charge up to like 14.2 or 14.5. I'll just pop the correct number on the screen. I really can't remember, but I'll just do my research now before starting with that section of the car. But yeah, that's that. The car's extremely dirty. The car's been standing here I think like for 3-4 weeks, and I literally only have the time today to get this car sorted, and I'm quite excited to work on the car. Check here, you can see here, there is the non-airbag steering wheel. We'll be equipping it with an airbag steering wheel, and yes, this nice bright race seat. It is a little bit broken here, but you can just get it set like that once again. That one is quite firm there, so I just think it's something to do with the material that just need to be put in like that. But he's actually selling the seat, or if any of you guys have a set of front VTEC seats, he is willing to swap or even maybe purchase it from you. Other than that, this car is quite nice. So, less talking, more working. I'm going to start off with that steering wheel. When you remove your steering wheel, by the way, just make sure it's all the way straight. You can see it's quite straight, so really knock it kind of off. So there we go. And that is the section where the clock spring will be located, because you can see here we have that wire there, and that wire is connected for the horn, but the horn button is actually over here. So I'm gonna get everything just in place, and then I'll explain to you guys afterwards. But yep, let's just get right there. And by the way, I'm feeling a bit weak today, so drinking a liquor monster. Well guys, this is a few days later, and I'm gonna show you guys Shanna's car shortly. She just has not arrived home yet because we were busy on Saturday. Today is Tuesday, and I think off camera, I didn't film this part, but off camera I removed the alternator from the car. And I showed you guys that earlier in the video, the reason why we removed the alternator. Right here we have the replacement alternator. Yes, it looks a little bit crusty, but we can just do a cleaning afterwards. For now, I just want to get this alternator fitted in the car and get it tested, make sure everything is fine. I got Naldo's battery on charge right there. So, get the alternator in, get the car started up, check if the alternator is charging the car, and then, and only then, I can start with the suspension, because I need to remove all 4 coilovers. And they did not fit the coilovers correctly. There were a few stuff that had to be removed that's not necessary on the coilover itself. I will be removing that, refitting it back into the car, and once everything is sorted, I just would like to check the clearances on the tappets, because if I can recall, I did set it, but I just want to make sure and just reset everything again to make sure everything is fine. And there's a few other stuff I would just like to get sorted Once we're done there, we're going to give the car a liquor wash, and the car will be ready for collection. At times throughout the weekend it gets a little tricky whenever filming a video like this, because well, it took us about like that few cinematics of us just spraying the valve cover. That took us alone like 4 hours to get done, and I kind of like flowed away from this car. And the moment this car was 100%, we fitted the valve cover back in the car, and I did not show anything well regarding that process, or showing the entire process of fitting the valve cover back in the car. But once she gets back, I'll show you guys that. But just to give you guys like the background, that's the reason why I'm picking up the camera Tuesday again, because yesterday we went to do a few other stuff, and unfortunately this is just the way of life. This is the main reason why I actually struggle with getting content out, and it's because I struggle to find time to edit them. I always have time to film them, but struggle with time to edit them. So if any of you guys are like video editors out there, I'm actually looking for I would say a test editor to see if it works out for me, because if I can actually employ an editor, it will be much better for me to put out content. So if you guys can maybe just drop me a message on my Instagram, and we can go from there. And I would just like to test out the theory, or like just having an editor and see how it goes, and maybe things will get better with the content getting out there, because I do film like lots of content, but I struggle to get them out in time. So yeah, but anyways, drop me a message on my Instagram. Let's just get back to today's video.
A few moments later.
A few days later, and we finally managed to get this car sorted. Alternator is charging, and the starter is sorted. But now we're taking a break from this car. We're gonna get back to this car later in today's video. Today's Saturday, and we have Mr. Jody Simon's car here, 160i, one owner. Actually, the one's a second owner. How does it feel, Copper, to be back in the game? Oh no, you're actually starting the game now. Back in the game. Yeah, what is this, my bro? Die man ry laat die cardboard waar hier so. Huh? Nice in the toolbox. In the toolbox in the middle. In the middle, there we go. So this is a 160i that Jody bought. This, Jody's the second owner on the car. Mileage on the car is a little high. 368, but everything on this car is amazing. This car is super sweet, the motor is super healthy. And luckily for Jody, he bought the car, and the car already has poly, see there? Trailing arm pushes. And poly front lower control arm pushes as well. This is a 160i. It has some paint fading here on the roof. It has a slight dent there. There's some fade marks and some dents on the bonnet. But this is a very, very good purchase for Jody for a first car. And today we will be doing some suspension work and getting the car CL spec. Well, at least just a standard CL spec. Getting some front suspension components replaced. All these parts were sourced by Technosa, except I think one part was sourced by Master Parts. So big shout out to Technosa and Master Parts. If you guys need any suspension components for your vehicle, hit them up. They are based in Montague Gardens, and obviously Technosa is based, no, not Montague Gardens, where are they based? Montague Gardens, yeah. Yeah, everywhere, so you can go to any Master Parts branch. Yeah, so we're going to start off by getting all the suspension components removed. Ball joints, rack ends, tie rods, what's the other stuff? Stabilizer links. Lower ball joints, upper control arms, rack ends, tie rods, and upper control arms. And one outer CV boot. That's about that. So after this is going to be 100% sorted. So we're working on this car, and we're going to get that light sorted as well. Mr. Heidi is here, busy, and he's going to do some outer CVs on the car. Julle sê middelman, gooi die kar weer 'n bietjie rond. Ja, koppe, hoe voel dit nou as 'n first owner om sulke parts te kan koop vir jou kar?
Ja, dat is op. Dat is wel nice.
Die geld is op. Oh, wat? Oh, 'n doorhendeltjie. Ja, koppers, ouma, dit. Ja, meneer, she broke the thingy. Hey, broken, ja.
Guys, die doorhendels, they don't do pause, 150.
Not too shabby. That's not a bad price actually. Yeah, so Jody's oma broke the door handle unfortunately.
Nou, dat komt voor de oma nog.
Nah, I'm alright, man. We're gonna get the car sorted, go, and then yeah, you guys will probably just see a few time lapse and cinematics to follow. Well guys, you guys will not guess who popped in today to get some work done on his car. Mr. Teejay himself. Teejay brought in his Citi Sport 1.6i to get C-notch for a little bit more lows. Keep in mind, I am no qualified welder, so you will have to go to Broken Law Garage to get that same section I will be cutting reinforced. You will see how lekker Teejay's car is sitting after the C-notch. I would just like to mention that unfortunately after this I did not film the handing over of the customer's vehicle, but luckily in the next video guys will see the car and the customer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It has been all over the place, but this is just how the content goes nowadays when you have a 9-to-5 job and do this as a hobby. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.